He's angry about mortgages. It's Angry Mortgage. He's swearing. He's cursing loud. He's old. He's opinionated. And he's been doing this so damn long. This program is about mortgages, and this is mortgage advice, but the advice may not apply to your situation. Contact licensed mortgage professionals for specific recommendations before you make decisions about mortgages. You may not agree with Ron, but if you don't, he thinks you're wrong. Oh, and did we say there is a lot of swearing?
You and I sound alike. We agree on a lot of this. And I mean, I've often said, people say, what's the greatest asset you can own? I say local grandparents. That is the greatest asset you can own.
Prime asset.
The difference that makes in your life and your happiness is huge. So again, just getting up and moving somewhere, yes, sometimes it's imperative and sometimes it's a great move. But for a lot of people, it's not a prudent approach or even something they could pursue. So I couldn't agree more. And again, all of this makes this stuff very tricky. And remember, we haven't gone through what could be even more job losses to come as the economy slows down. So who knows where this is heading in the next 6 to 12 to 18 months.
Haven't even talked about AI, probably shouldn't, because there's elements of AI that I've covered on the show that are frightening. I mean, they're legitimately frightening. A lot of people push back and they say, Ron, no, you're going on the wrong track here. I also like to point out to people, the concept of AI is different than the companies in the stock market.
Right.
We can all say the companies in the stock market doesn't make sense, valuations are stupid, it's all going to crumble. Well, you and I were around for the dot-com fiasco.
Yeah. When they collapsed, the internet just kept going stronger and stronger and becoming a bigger part of our lives, as AI will too.
In a different way. It wasn't exactly, like, I don't know if you remember it, but there was the guys who were, there was a company that was going to deposit a fridge in your driveway so that they could have effortless delivery of, because they'd raised so much capital, they had to think of stupid ideas to get behind it.
I think I invested in them. No,
I'll tell you, listen, the one that I always thought was the craziest one was that the reason we called it the dot-com crisis was because people were literally paying for a name. You know, I got weddingregistry.com.
Right.
So I don't even have to have a good app. I mean,
right.
I don't even have a good concept. I own that name.
That's right.
And therefore, my company's worth $1 billion. And we all saw where that went.
Right.
But to your point, the digital world has enveloped us, okay? It just wasn't those companies. So don't mix up the companies and the world that's changing.
No, AI is going to become a bigger and bigger part of our life. I go back and forth on it. Some days I'm convinced it's going to take away 30% of jobs in the next 5 years. Other days I think, is it really coming along as quickly as they said it would? You get a lot of misinformation and bad answers to this day. It doesn't have that ability to create, et cetera. So I go back and forth, but I'm just enthralled with it. I watch all the videos I possibly can. I experiment with a tremendous amount. I laughed just as I was putting the finishing touches on the book, literally writing the preface to the book. One of my friends said, well, what if AI takes all our jobs? Then what position will you take? And I said fetal. and I put that right in the book because I don't have an answer for that. I mean, who does? I mean, if it ends up coming on and creating 30 and 40 and 50% unemployment, there's no answer for that. We've got a major societal problem.
I had a weird moment just yesterday where somebody asked Grok on X whether my comments were truthful, false, or even reasonable. And Grok came back, because it does that.
Yeah, it does.
Grok came back with a glowing review of everything I said. Oh, he's right about this. This is true.
That's good.
He feels passionate about this. So then I was so enthralled by Grok's praise that I just put in a one line. Oh, thank you, Grok. I'm glad I impressed you. The son of a bitch comes back and says, hey, Ron, no, I mean, you deserve all the praise. I'm thinking, this is the end of the world. This is the end of the world. Grok is telling me, is trying to butter me up on X.
Mrs. Angry Mortgage is out, and Grok is in.
Grok is in.
You found your soulmate.
And, oh, my God.
No, it does offer a lot of effusive praise. Like if you come out and here's my sample press release, its first line usually is absolutely fantastic. I love where you're going here. And so, anytime you do something like that, I feel very, very good about myself when I deal with these LLMs.
Hey, listen, Elon Musk is smart enough to say, just butter them up, bullshit them along.
Absolutely.
They'll keep using it. Okay,
There's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah, as much as you can question a tremendous amount of the way Elon lives his life and some of the crazy things he says, if we all don't wrap our heads around, he just might be the smartest guy on earth. Okay, like there was literally no human alive who thought you could start a rocket company when he did.
No, that's true. I mean, look at the percentage of the satellites in the air that he now controls and owns to a large extent. And I think the respect he commands from a lot of the other engineers is interesting. And he does obviously offer up some outlandish opinions, and there's no question about that. And I have mixed emotions toward him. I think everybody does, but you have to give him credit where credit's due. And he's done some marvelous things in the business area and on the financial front and everything else. So
yeah, let's face it. If there was no Elon Musk, there would be no U.S.-based EV business. It wouldn't exist.
No, it's true.
And interesting comment out of him the other day. He says, I'm not so focused on building the cars anymore as automating.
Well, I think that opinion was forced on him by the marketplace. Because,
the Chinese probably forced the opinion on him.
They've certainly come up with good competitors, but also Europe's not buying as many EVs. The sales have slowed down in other parts of the world. So I think he's looking again for the autonomous cars and the robots and other areas that they can head. But again, the marketplace is dictating that to a large degree.
I don't know about you, Dave, but I would so love a working autonomous car. I hate driving. Okay, and
I'm the opposite.
You love driving?
I love driving. I do a lot of my thinking in the car. I love driving. I listen to your podcast in the car, often 3 and 4 times. It's very fair. No, I do. I love driving.
That is quality BS, Dave. Thank you. But I don't. But look, I'm fine with driving. I'm fine with sitting in the back seat of the Uber and doing some work on the phone. But I literally despise driving and going and parking. And if there was if there was a car that you just got into and said, "Hey, let's go," and forget about it, I'm good with that.
Well, it's inevitable. I mean, I think in the next few years, we're going to have them at a level where they're becoming a big... Think of all the echo impacts of something like that. So, for example, if you are in the motel business, that has to make you somewhat fearful. So you are along the route to Florida, and people are now thinking, I'm not driving my car anymore.
Sleep in the car.
I'll just sleep in the car the whole way. There's all kinds of things like that get affected by this. And in fact, I think somebody could do very well investing if all they ever did was sit around thinking about all the new techniques and all the new innovations that are coming. What are going to be the second and third order effects of that? So I'm going to give you a really good example. There was a fellow in the States who looked at the potential damages coming from climate change 10 and 15 years ago. And he said, the one thing I'm finding everybody agrees on is we're going to have increasing winds. And so when he went to invest in all this, he didn't look for cures to it. He bought all the companies he could find that were going to benefit from increasing winds. What are those? Well, those are tree companies and all the companies that have to remove trees. They're roofers. They're all of those types of things. And sure enough, we have had increasing winds. And tree companies, by the way, have done spectacularly well in the last decade. So that kind of thinking about where's the second and third order going to go with all of this is very interesting to me.
If you like the pod, well, don't just sit there. Go to YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and all the other ones and like the pod. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep being angry at mortgages and swearing about mortgages. Angry Mortgage could use your support.